Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's right. It's Monday night. You know what that means. It's Real Labs on 104.1 Real Radio. The voice you're hearing is James Yan. That's right. I am the, I guess I'd say the ringmaster of this merry circus we got going on here, man. I'm joined in virtual studio, as always, with my main man, one of the first guys on Real Labs, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. That's right.
I ain't got no masters, bro.
That's true. It's true. I understand.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Also joining us tonight, man, really good friend of ours, man, and the writer of The Lowdown, Mr. Mike Hurley, he is here, and the obligatory podcast is back. That's right. So, Mike, you're a busy dude. You're doing a lot of things, man.
Yeah, I am doing so many things and making so little money. It's amazing.
Amen.
How thinly spread out. I can't wait to get back to a real job.
We're all interns right now. You know,
we are. I'll do it for free. Yeah, I got nothing to do. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll go get some coffee. It's fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's a good day. What is today, guys? Gotta let everybody know that. It is Monday, September 28th. Can you guys believe we're almost in October, bro? I've been off for 6 months.
Yeah,
bro,
I can
6
believe.
months.
I can believe that 2020 is going to be an 18-month year. It's going to keep going. You know, this is Flogjuary. It comes after December.
Bro,
yeah.
I haven't worked for 6 months. I'm asking for government assistance. The pandemic has made me a stereotype. Like, it really has. But I become that dude this year, Miguel.
Hey, bro, I got that first stimulus check from Trump, and I was like, listen. Let the man speak. Sometimes he's got crazy ideas.
Hey, let's be clear. Number one, that wasn't from Trump, because I think I don't know if you guys heard about it today. He doesn't have enough money in his personal account to cover that.
Yeah,
Did you see it today?
You do it. You write government checks when you don't have enough money of your own.
They finally opened up some of his tax returns today. And they found out that he hasn't paid taxes in 10 of the past 15 years. And the year he got elected, he paid a whopping $750.
Here's the part about that I got to be honest about. If he was not my president, I'd be like, nice.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm always rooting for the guy who's like, yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Paid $9 in taxes. Damn you. Good job, brother. Good job.
because when they do it, let's be honest, they do it legally. Like, it's not illegal the way they do it.
Yeah. No. That's one of the issues right now. One of the issues right now is they're looking at a tax return he filed from like 13 years ago, where he claimed a $75 million loss. And they're starting to look into that now. They're going to rule on that, and he might owe $100 million with penalties and everything just off that one return.
Here's the thing with President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump can do all this stuff and not be my president, and I'm like, this dude, he's wild. But when you're trying to run my country, that's when I'm like, oh. It's like, you know, you can do a lot of wild crap and be someone else's nanny, but you can't watch my kids and be wild like that.
That's exactly right.
I think the larger picture of this whole thing is you ran on this platform that you're killing it on The Apprentice. You're the businessman. You make all these deals happen. And if nothing else, this shows that, well, no, you're not. All your business has been failing. The whole thing was a scam. It was built on all lies. I mean, things that nobody's going to change their views now. If you're a Trump supporter, stick with Trump. He can do whatever he wants. He can say something ridiculous like, I'm not going to give up control if I'm voted out, or find out that he never paid taxes and he wasn't a businessman. You're too far invested. You already got the signs on the lawn. You got the red hat. You got the flag on the truck. You put too much money into this.
You've already brought the white outfit for the cross burning. Yeah. You can't return it. I'm joking, Trump fans.
He reminds me of like Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson in the Say video, where they're just traveling town to town, doing vaudeville shows, selling snake oil. And it's like, damn it, stop being so entertaining to people. Like,
they love it, man.
The latest thing is he's debating. He's going up against Biden this week. I think they got the first debate. And he put this out today. He tweeted this. I think Joe's on drugs. That's the only thing I can think of. So I would like to have a drug test done before the debate. And of course, I will take one as well. And a lot of the inside people are going, he doesn't want to debate. He does not want to debate right now, so he's looking for any excuse to get out of it. So he's basically saying, I'm not going to debate that guy because he's on drugs.
Poor Joe, too, man.
Is there a drug test for Viagra? Like, is that show up? I'm just saying.
Joe Biden's sitting there, and he's just trying to, like, wash his eye rock out in his garage. And he's like, who's
in a white
who's
theater?
who's doing the debates, guys? Oh, man. I got to call up Barack. Hey, we're doing debates? What do you mean I'm alone now?
Dude,
that's probably true.
I personally, whatever side you're for, I personally think, I mean, Biden already came out and said, look, I know what the debate's going to be. It's going to be, here's a topic. He's going to avoid answering the topic, and he's going to try and make personal attacks and insults because that's his only game. That's his only go-to. Remember when he went up against Hillary and he started walking behind her on stage like a shark circle? Yeah. What the hell was up with that, man?
He's about to grab her.
I want them to battle rap it like the end of 8 Mile. You know, that's how I want. I want this at the Chin Tiki. I want Papa Doc there.
I think that would be Trump's downfall because I mean, how many things rhyme with huge? You know, you got huge.
Yo, but Trump knows how to write a hot 16 because he knows you can't write a hot 16 without the N word. And trust me, he knows the N word. Like he can spit it. It really could, man. It would be hot. I would listen to it, man.
I mean, I'd imagine Joe Biden would drop like a haiku that he didn't even know was a haiku.
No, he wouldn't.
Sometimes it's scary here. Every now and then I cry. What am I doing?
I will say this. I feel like Trump the past couple of weeks has been running like he doesn't realize he's the president. He's like, what has Joe Biden done with this? It's like, well, Joe he's not the president,
not
man.
President. You are.
It's like he's like, do you really want to live in Joe Biden's America? Where's this? It's like, dude, it's your America now. We're burning to the ground. What's up, man?
It's like
he's like, vote for me. I'll fix all this. I'm like, this is yours now. Now.
It's like restaurants, how they constantly blame corporate. They're like, it's up to me. We have enough salad forks, but corporate. We're a mom and pop restaurant. Like,
oh my God. Now, real quick, I want to bring up the fact that today is 2 national days. It's National Drink Beer Day. Now, I don't know about you guys. I didn't grow up drinking beer. I grew up drinking brown alcohol. I love whiskey. That's my thing. That's my go-to. I've started drinking beer a little bit more because I got friends who like to drink it, especially when Tommy O'Neill was back in here. He used to love drinking beer, and I drink beer with him. Now, there's some beers I actually enjoy. Like, I like Stella. Stella's a good beer.
Stella,
but great, man. That's not a bad one. But I got to tell you, most beers to me they taste disgusting. And the more extravagant and craft they get, the more disgusting it tastes to me. I know I don't have a refined palate. I know I don't get it because people who love like craft beer talk about it very passionately. Like you go downtown, there's all these different microbreweries, and they'll tell you like this one has a scent of ambrosia, followed by some pumpkin. It just twiddles in the back of the throat. Like none of that sounds good to me. Whenever I drink an IPA, it tastes like the most bitter, nasty thing that was created by accident, and it kept going because someone dared someone to keep drinking it. Like, do you guys drink beer at all? And if you do, what kind?
Yeah, I mean, I drink beer a lot too. You know,
do you a lot?
Yeah, because beer is like beer's a hangout drink. Like beer is it's beer.
Really?
It's good. Like
is it good?
Fine.
Like it?
Because like you say you drink brown liquor, but do you drink like only whiskeys or bourbons, or do you drink only or do you drink like Cavassier? Like what do you drink? Like
all of it. Cavassier, bourbon, Scotch, all of it.
You drink Scotch?
Yeah.
You like see, Scotch is too smoky for me, man. I don't enjoy it.
Really?
I don't enjoy Scotch. Yeah.
And I don't need anything mixed with any of it. I don't need Coke. I don't need any chasers or anything like that. Don't even need ice. I'll just drink straight up.
What kind of Scotch do you like, man?
I'm not sure. Like I've had a couple people hanging out and whatnot and enjoyed it. I don't know what it was.
Nice Alvini 12 year.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, man. Mike. Yeah, look at you. Really? I love it.
Like no, it's too smoky. Like Lowlands, Highlands, I don't care, man. The taste of peat in my drink is just horrible. Like I don't like it.
I think I dig that note. I like that smokiness in the back. I really do, man. See, almost reminds me of barbecue.
I didn't drink beer. And even when I bartended, beer wasn't my thing. And then I moved to Orlando and I took a job at Jelly Rolls at Disney Boardwalk, doing piano bar. And after work, the only shift drink the managers would let us have is beer. So all of a sudden I was like, well, I guess I drink beer now. And I liked switching over to beer because I'm like you, I don't care for the taste of beer. So like a Jameson, from drinking liquor for years, I could pound down 6 Jamesons in like an hour and a half.
Absolutely, yeah.
But when I started drinking beer, I would find myself maybe 2 in an hour. And then, like anything else, I built up a tolerance. So all of a sudden you're down in beer. And here's the one side effect I don't like a beer over liquor. Liquor, I never put on a pound that I know of. I started drinking beer. All of a sudden I got that ET body where it's all like skinny up here, skinny down here. And then and you don't get respect for that. Like you guys are bigger. You guys are bigger boned guys. You look good carrying some weight with you. Me, when you see me at the beach with my shirt off and it's just like a belly, people go, no, God gave you every chance to be scrawny and you messed it up. You know?
You messed it up. That's true.
Beer's like a loaf of bread in a glass. Like seriously.
It is.
Like it's a lot of calories.
But it is a lot of calories. I don't like the feeling, like Mike said, of feeling bloated. Like the next day, I feel horrible after drinking a bunch of beer.
I'll tell you though, me and you, us liquor drinker guys, we don't give those IPAs enough respect because we always look at beer as like a little watered down drink. And then you hang out with someone like a Charlie Bowie who knows his IPAs and he slides you over something. And all of a sudden I'm like, what's this? He's like, oh, they make it in North Carolina. It's like 120% alcohol, percentage. Yeah. What? And you have like 5 sips and this beer has put you on your ass. It's ridiculous.
That's what it is too.
They can load up those beers. But if I'm drinking a beer, I'll usually, if it's like a domestic, it's just something like, pass me a Miller Lite. If it's like one of those IPA places, if it's one of those IPA places, I'm like, what kind of, do you have like an Angry Orchard or whatever, something like that,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Something like fruity, I'll take that.
To me, a beer is a cold beer is just a refreshing drink. Like I'm not big into IPAs. I don't want a stout or anything like that.
No.
But like even like a Hefeweizen or something. But a cold beer is for refreshing. A cocktail or like highball straight up or something like that is like an unwinding drink, Or I want to get drunk. But a beer, to me, like after you're hot outside, been working on something, I don't want to have like a shot of whiskey. I want to have an ice cold beer.
Okay. All right.
I've had a Guinness a couple of times. Like I should have had more in my bartending career and everything else and being Irish. But dude, those things are like a full-on meal. Like if I have a Guinness or a black and tan, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm not even drunk. I'm just full, You know
what's always good too? When you're at a sporting event and they got that 87-ounce cup, and you're like, I'm not going to let this beer get warm, so I'm going to pound it. And, and then that's the best. And you got to walk up the steps. And then there's a point. The best part about that is there's a point where you realize you've had too much. When you look at the steps and you got to pee and you're like, nope, I'm just going to figure it out here in the chair.
And I never like beer like that, like at a game or something, because it's hot. Like for me, drinking a beer makes me like feel hot internally. So I don't want to sit in the heat and watch a game at the same time. Like that heat and drinking to me, the worst thing. Could be my diabetes talking, but I just don't like it.
See, beer cools me down. Like a nice cold beer will refresh me. Yeah, it'll be refreshing and cool me down.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before. There's the myth that alcohol warms you up when it actually reduces your inner body temperature.
Yeah, because it thins your blood. Yeah.
Guess I just sweat for no reason then. Well, there's a reason. Yeah, I get it. I totally do.
It's the sugars, boo.
The sugars, man. Yo, my goal by the end of the year, just as a tangent, you mentioned that, is to get off all medication. I'm trying to work, where I get off all. Dude, I take so many pills a day. It's my goal to get off that stuff. I'm trying to beat diabetes, man. I want to be the first black dude to do it.
Except for Michelle. Michelle's like, you can keep the V pill. You can keep the V pill.
Michelle gives you some kind of like pill to keep you in line too. Like you can't see other women. Like you'll be in a room with like James. You see those 9 women? No one's here. You're like,
she's like Morpheus. Would you like the blue pill?
it's like Westworld. They show you something. You're like, I don't see anything there.
I definitely don't. Now, guys, when we get back, we're going to be talking about recycling and how it's not always good for the environment. So, guys,
don't do it.
Just don't do it. So, when we get back, we're going to be talking a little bit more. Stay tuned. Real Laughs 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. You're still rocking with Real Laughs on 104.1 Real Radio. I am James John, your host for this evening. It's Monday, and I'm joined with Miguel Colon Jr. and Mike Herlihy. And we want to remind you guys, you can always check out our past episodes on the iHeart app. You can always follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube. That's right. Please go to YouTube, look under Real Laughs, like, comment, and subscribe. Now, guys, I wanted to ask you a question because I'm about to move into a different part of my life right now. As you know, work's about to start. That's right. They just opened up Florida. Phase 3 is all about. So that means we can all go back to work. So that means that my family's been used to me for the past 6 months. I'm cooking dinner every single day. Everybody's happy. They get a good meal. But mom works 12 hours a day. So dad's going to be gone a long time. So my 16 and 17-year-old are going to have to start fending for themselves when it comes for dinner some nights. Now, for them, it sounds crazy. But I think in our generation, we had the responsibility of, making our own food a little bit earlier in age than I think they're accustomed to. They think like they're getting child abuse right now. Like, Dad, how dare you not be here to make me lobster when I'm clearly going to be hungry? I don't know how to work that machine in there called an oven. That's magic. You'd have to be Harry Potter to make that thing work. So I wanted to ask you guys, how old were you when you guys started taking over some responsibilities at the house and like doing things for yourself? Like for me, I was 11 years old when I started cooking dinner because my mom worked 3 jobs. So I had to learn to cook at an early age, and that's why I've been doing it. But like Miguel, did you ever have to go through this with your parents? You're like, oh, I got to start doing some stuff now?
Yeah, like because my dad would be deployed all the time. So
That's right. Military kid, yeah.
it'd be just my mom. So
Gotcha.
everybody had to step up. But my mom was cool. Like she did, like I would say it wasn't until I was honestly about 13 years old that it would be like, hey, you're gonna have to make. And a lot of the things that I would make for dinner was honestly prepped by my mom.
Yeah.
She'd be like, take the chicken, put this on the chicken, leave it out. And then it was probably 13 was when I did it on my own because my older sister's 3 years older than me. So she was carrying the weight of like cooking for us until she was like out of high school going to college. And then it was time for me to like pick it up. But a lot of it would be like my mom would be like, there's chicken in the fridge brought down. If you want to season it, like my mom would write out these notes. To this day, my mom will write out notes. Season like, nice. On the fridge, season the chicken, do this, do that. So like the first part of it was mostly her guided through her with notes and stuff. And then, and then a lot of it also would be like if she was getting home at like 6 or 7, it would be like, make sure you bring the chicken down by this time, season it by this time. And then a lot of times she would cook. And then what would transition is it'd be into the point where I'd be like, I mean, if I'm going to bring the chicken down and I'm going to season the chicken, I might as well throw it in the oven so I got some chicken now. It was like a selfish motivation of I might as well. And then it got to the point where like, and my mom's real supportive. So it got to the point where sometimes it'd be like, ooh, I made this cool side dish. It's kind of whack, but let's all have it with the chicken because I'm excited now,
Because you got a little motivated cooking. You were like, let me try something new. All right.
But when we were real little too, we like my mom would let us, she'd be like, there's bananas, there's this, make something. And she was cool with us being like, hey, I cut up the bananas. One of the things I remember me and my older sister used to do because we saw it on TV was we would take bananas, toothpicks, and peanut butter and make like bugs. They look like bugs, like, make a caterpillar. So my mom was real cool about us doing that stuff. We couldn't use any utensils till we were older, like kitchen knives and stuff till we were like older. And we weren't allowed to touch the oven almost without like submitting a review as to why. Like, and stove, I'm talking stove was off limit until like I was probably like 13 or 14. She'd never want me using the stove. But that was the vibe of it. And it was cool. And I'm glad that happened because it was like eased into it.
Gotcha. My kids think it's just, how dare you? I'm going to need you to make a 4-course meal before you go to work in the morning. And so I can warm it up because I can't.
Hit them with the notes and the prep first. Get that chicken down. Yeah.
I'm going to take it a step further. I'm leaving videos now. I'm leaving videos on Real Laughs so we can get the views up because we need them.
Yeah.
That's Mike, did you ever go through that when you started cooking and doing stuff around the house because you just needed to help out?
Yeah, it was a little different with me. I had 2 brothers, my mom, my dad, and we all had different schedules. So every single day from kindergarten to 8th grade, middle school, I had my lunch packed by my mom in a brown bag, and it was the same thing: peanut butter and jelly, grape jelly. That was it. And she would take a drink box and wrap it in tinfoil and a napkin because that's, I guess, the Italian equivalent of a cooler. And she would throw that in the brown paper bag, and that was it. And then I'd come home from school, And we did the thing. She had dinner ready. We would all eat. And then when I got into high school, things got different, man, because I was doing a lot of after school stuff like hockey and theater. So it was wake up, make myself breakfast. I was a big breakfast kid in high school. I get up an hour early just so I had time to make like waffles or pancakes or French toast. I couldn't do just like cereal and out the door, you know. Then when I got to school, everybody talks about the best pizza. If I could just get the recipe for sheet pan pizza, like
rectangle pizza,
yes,
bro, that is so good. Oh my God, I don't get why it's so good.
There was never bad sheet pan pizza. There was awesome and good.
Yeah,
it was like, it's only good today. You know,
and you can't compare it to pizza. It is its own delicious thing.
Yes. And especially,
oh my God,
you don't want it straight fresh. You want it to have like congealed a little bit and perfect. But and then the thing was, when I was in high school, I would always stick around after school because I either had rehearsals or we were playing hockey. So we would just run down the street, grab some fast food, bring it back. And then I was also working in like restaurants during high school. I worked at Subway for a while, and then I worked at a ribs house. So I worked restaurants basically from there on. So I was one of those people that's like, I'll just grab something at work. I'll grab something at work. So you get friends with the line cook. You walk in 10 minutes early. You're like, oh man, let me get a Philly. Let me get a Philly. Ring it up. Yeah, I'll ring it up later. Just make me a Philly, man. You know, so that was it. And even now I'm one of those people, dude, if I could just learn how to cook better at home, like for myself, I'd save a ton of money. Because even tonight, dude, right before the show, Olive Garden, Carside, all the stuff, all cheap stuff, pasta. I think the most expensive thing is like mine, chicken parm, which you can make for literally pennies. But I think with tip and everything, it was like $60 for the four of us out the door. We do that at least once a week. I'm like,
yeah. And if you don't cook a lot, it sounds daunting to do it. Like it would sound like a whole process to go make chicken parm. But once you do it all the time, like me,
bing, bang, bang. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's really quick.
I had to talk myself this morning into making French toast for myself. I'm like, it sounds like. But here's the thing. I was already making eggs. I already had it in a bowl. So I always eat toast with eggs, like toast with some jelly. Yeah. So all I really had to do is dump some cinnamon into my egg wash, soak the pieces, throw it in the same pan. We're literally talking 2 extra minutes. I was still like, do I have time for it?
Oh my God.
Mike, I'm telling you this, you need to be a crock pot man.
Yeah.
Because the things you like chicken parm. All right, you're not going to make a traditional fried chicken parm or bake, but you're going to make it in that crock pot mixed in with the pasta. You'll leave it for 4 to 8 hours later, depending what you're setting you on. You come back home and there's your chicken parm pasta ready to go. It's good. It's nickels on the dollar. You got it left over.
Pork,
beef stew, I come home to a burnt down house and just the crock pots. And I'm like, thanks, Miguel. Thanks, Miguel.
The firemen are eating chicken parm out of like this.
Now I can't even afford to eat out anymore. I need to buy a new house.
Yeah.
That's funny. So kids, if you're listening, I know you're not. It's okay. It'll be all right. Learn to cook a couple dishes. You always start out with something simple too when you're cooking. Baked chicken is one of the easiest things to do. You just season it well. You put it in the oven for 350. You put it in there for about 25 minutes. Baked chicken. That's all you do. Something you can just put in the oven and walk away like a crock pot, like you said, Miguel. Simplest thing in the world.
What do you think? What are you gonna get them on first? What are you gonna get them on first? You gonna get them on baked chicken?
Baked chicken. Go ahead.
Jump the gun on these kids. No, they've had too much time. They've had too much time. Now you're going to be like, it's a turducken. Okay. Once you master the turducken, I'm just chicken and crap.
I'm just going to put $50 on the fact you're going to be seeing a lot of Papa John's pizza boxes around the house. That's what
I have. I have.
Uber Eats charges. Well, Papa, since you decided to leave us hanging, we had no other choice.
Well, they're so smart too. They'll hit me with, Papa, you don't understand. The economy needs our help. So I'm doing my part to make sure that people have jobs that drive to deliver food. So you're welcome.
Old man, I like this idea. Let's put it on ice for a little bit. Let's revisit it after the pandemic. And we'll try that cooking thing of yours. But that's a 2021 kind of thing. Let's just skate through 2020 and we'll figure it out.
Dad,
Good talk though, champ.
Let's just see if your show's gonna make it through a season before we go getting crazy about who's cooking what around here. All right.
Yeah, they're not even worried. They're not even worried. You're like, listen,
So true.
I gotta go back. I gotta go back to work, so I won't be able to cook for you. And they're like, okay, Dad.
Yeah. We watched the Emmys the other night. You know what they didn't mention? The lowdown. You know what they didn't mention? Your entire network, actually.
Yeah. It's like you guys were in my house listening.
Yeah. Eves is in there putting matchbooks in the ceiling, taking them down. Good news, guys. We're opening back up. Oh, man. This is good for everyone.
I checked the weather. It looks like we're going to have some Jewish lightning this evening.
Yeah. Eves, why were you parking all your cars inside the building? No reason.
Just go around taking pictures of all the new equipment just in case we ever need this for insurance.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for that. My kids love it. Oh, really quick before we go, guys, got a couple minutes. I heard a news story that caught my eye, and I just unbelievably funny what's going on. A Vietnamese factory's in trouble for recycling. Can you believe it? For recycling. Yeah. It was the fact they were recycling 300,000 condoms and repackaging them and reselling them. I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
300,000 condoms they were recycling to repackage to get reused.
Here's where I find this interesting.
Yes. I think you hit it. Yes, go ahead.
How do they repack? Like, you get a condom and it's like this. And then, other guys use it. It's like this when it's done. I come back to about here. But like, how do they put the size down? What do they do?
I asked the same question. They were washing them. Then the lady would repackage them by using a toy, a dildo, and she would roll them back down using that. And that's how she would repackage them. The problem I have, Miguel, is not how did she get them back in the package? How did she make them look right? How did she collect 300,000 used condoms? Where was she at? It wasn't like a Disney attraction. You set up in a whorehouse, and as you know, when
girlfriend's house, I
think it was more like an attraction. You know how you go on a Disney ride and you're like, on your way out, drop your 3D glasses in this bin. Was it the same thing? You like, you just take it off, drop it in a bin.
It's such a shame that they got recycled, because if they were smart, they'd be like, look, you're selling these 6-inchers. We're only using 3 of it. Just come in half, double up. Charge twice as much.
Because it's
Save yourself a washing fee.
That's why I don't use condoms, because of the waste.
Yeah.
I just care about
I always knew you were one of those environmentally sane guys.
Next, you're going to tell me global warming is real. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, though, man. I would love to know the story of how they collected all the condoms. Like,
I don't want to ever hear it again. Yeah, I'm done with that one.
Is it like?
Are you sure?
Like up north, when you go in the grocery stores, they got those bottle collection machines. You can just go and put your 5 cents. Guys just coming back with handfuls of condoms.
Oh my God. You get a cup of rice for everyone you put in there.
All the vat of cleaning materials is just full of DNA. It's like the crock pot we were talking about, Mike. Circle.
Yeah. Definitely got to run out and grab one of those now.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Petri dish. But, guys, don't go anywhere. We got a special treat coming up. We got a special interview with a blast from the past. There's a new club opening up, and we're going to be talking to one of the partners. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Real Radio, Real Labs. Welcome back, everybody. You are still listening to Real Labs on 104.1. I'm your host, Mr. James John. I'm joining studio, as always, with my main man, partner in crime, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr., and Mike Hurley, of course. Now, we got a very special guest on. He is one of the founding members, the actual guy who started Real Labs and brought me and Miguel on. And he's also a guy that you've seen on viral videos everywhere. He does very well with those. He is also the new partner of a new comedy club opening up in Winter Haven called Laugh Out Lounge. We invite back our good friend, Mr. Devin Siebold. How you doing, man?
Good to see you guys. This is how I really envisioned us all coming back together.
Like the Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
It's like a PTA meeting with Devin right now. I'm like, Mr. Siebold, I don't like the allegations that you said my son was smoking weed in class. That is untrue.
I thought we would be like this sooner, though. I figured that the chef would have burned down the studio by now. And then we're all like, we're remote because he tried to fry something that was frozen, had a lot of water on it.
Exactly. I remember those days.
Studio days. One of my favorite studio days, guys, was when we had all that natty seafood, and then I threw it away in the garbage can, but forgot to remove that garbage. And I told myself, I got to take that garbage out because it's going to reek of seafood. It was all lobster. Mike, they must have brought us, no lie, 8 to 9 pounds of lobster and shrimp and seafood boil. And we're all eating it in there. We all took some home, and we threw it away. And then I got home, didn't think about it. And then the next day, Russ and the Monsters opened the studio. They're like, Jesus Christ. It's like a Phuket whorehouse.
Dude, first of all, nice seafood, amazing food. Second of all, that gig you gave me down there, I did that gig, and I washed my clothes, and cats were still following me around for like a week, dude. Like, you cannot get that was it the Old Bay spice?
Old Bay,
or whatever?
Yeah. All right. Now, Devin, I wanted to talk about a little bit before we talk about the new club. Want to talk about the fact you do a very popular podcast too, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Crying in My Car podcast for teachers. And it is top rated podcast for teachers in the world. We actually have a massive Australian fan base. Like we've been over I think 120 countries so far listen to us. So yeah,
very impressive, man. I will tell you, I know a little bit about your pain now, Devin. I was a homeschool teacher for about 3 months, and I will say they do not pay you guys enough. They really, really don't, man. That drove me crazy. Holy crap.
I haven't seen your kids in a while. Now this explains it. Are they okay? Can we do a wellness check? I need a wellness check.
Nah, they're fine.
How does it work? How does it work though, Devin? Because we were all talking about this last week. Kids aren't allowed to eat when you're teaching and stuff like that. Like, who's the homeschool superintendent to enforce this? Because I want to be homeschool superintendent. I want to just pop up and just be like, listen, guys. Homeschool's different than regular school. We still say no guns. I'm talking to you skinny white kids that are getting picked on.
We got a real liberal.
Hey, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If a white person shoots someone, there's usually a reason. All right, so just I'm not saying it's a good reason. I'm just saying it's a reason.
White people kill somebody, and the first people they blame is music. I love that. They're like, what? It must have been the music because white lives are pretty chill. It couldn't have been anything else. It had to have been the soundtrack. He was just listening to too much Four Non-Blondes, and he got fired up.
Jesus, man.
No white guys ever shot up a school to a bridge over troubled water,
Like a bridge over troubled. You don't do mass shootings to yacht rock.
Right?
Or ska music. But anyway, man. Devin, I want to.
You have to watch out with ska too. Yeah, you have to watch out with ska because they'd have so many chances to bring extra bullets with all those cargo pockets in their cargo shorts.
Oh man. Now, Devin, I wanted to ask you, man. You're doing something very exciting, man. We're very proud of you. You're partnering opening up a new comedy club. I think every comic has thought of opening up their own club at one point because you always have in your idea how it's supposed to go when you go to a club. You always say,
Devin. Teaching comedy club, this man just doesn't care about money. I love it.
Not at all. Yeah, that's why I left Real Laughs. Miguel was like, "We got a new contract," and I was like, "I got to leave. I can't."
Yeah.
Oh, Devin knows the truth. All our contracts were piles of food. I'd be like, "All right, I couldn't get us money, but hear me out, guys. I got a seafood guy. He's gonna be bringing us all the Old Bay we ever wanted."
That's so funny. Now, what made you say, you know what? It's time. I want to go ahead and do this. I want to make my dream a reality. Let's try putting together a comedy club.
Well, Barrel 239 over in Winter Haven, they've been putting on comedy shows for a while. And we've kind of been behind those, and it's been like standing room only every time. And then produced some shows at the Ritz over in Winter Haven and just had a lot of success with the shows that were going there. So Ashta and her partners kind of took notice and then came to myself and Mike Lee with Hometown Laughs and kind of wanted to partner with us to where they wanted a club, and they wanted us to kind of guide them, because they were more of the bar and food, and they needed, minds that had been behind the scenes and in the green room and know what works and what doesn't, and how to promote, how to make money. That's the
and isn't that the way it's supposed to be when someone's opening up a comedy club? Ask a comic like how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to be.
James, ask the right comic. Because we all know so many places that we're like, who's the guy or who's the girl running this? They're like, so-and-so. They did an open mic. They're great.
True.
They know everybody.
Yeah.
They do. And everybody knows them.
Right.
So
no, it's good. It's an awesome venture, and I mean it's top notch, man. Like $50,000 is went into just the sound system alone. So yeah, it's sound lighting's perfect, huge spacious green room, good eyesight for the comics. I mean, certain things, like when we went in there first, they were like, okay, there's a small pole in the middle of the room, and it's going to be there. And I was like, no, it isn't. I was like, I said, we have to, even if it costs like a lot of extra money, the support system needs to be redesigned to where there's an open room, no distractions, no nothing. And so a lot of it was just kind of involving comic point of view.
And we've done those rooms. We've done rooms where they just left the huge pole in the middle of the thing and said, deal with it. All right, here we go. So
now, Devin, man, if this is a real comedy club, this is a real deal comedy club, brick and mortar comedy club, right? So my question, how many bowling lanes and where are the pool
No, we went with axe throwing right next to the stage.
You gotta go, bro. You're always thinking ahead.
I don't see that not going well.
Yeah. Nice. Now, not only are you guys doing shows on the weekend, I think it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but you're also doing open mic, and I think you're doing something special on Sundays too.
Yeah, Sundays are Spunky Sundays. We reached out to Spunky Robinson, who's a good friend of mine. He knows how to put on urban shows, and to bring out,
he's the best. He is the best at running an urban show. And let me say this: he doesn't just put on urban nights; he puts on grown folk urban nights. He puts on a show. Yeah, it definitely.
Right now, you guys remind me of like two old Jewish guys in Hollywood. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. That colored kid, Spunky. Hear me out. Hear me out. He knows how to put on a jive show, and I'm not just throwing that word around.
He's no jive turkey. Let me tell you.
This guy, he is regular tryptophan turkey.
Oh, whoa. Did you say Spunky or Spanky? Spunky. Yeah. Oh, all right, because that's Spanky. Yeah.
Spanky. I would stab my mother's eyes out before I talk to him again. But the Spunky kid, oh my God. And then when he
still owes me on that thing for that other thing. You remember that with the guy?
The skinny guy who's a friend of the guy from Ohio, but not but he's Chinese. The
only Chinese guy in Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Hey, real quick,
man.
Devin, too. Real comedy club, no joke aside. Real comedy club, a brick and mortar club, entertainment. You're doing a bunch of shows. Was it like a kick in the chest though when COVID came? Because I remember you talking about this for a while. How scary was it? Because this was not the time.
Yeah.
You would think that, but when it's in Polk County and nothing exists that's on the news, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
You got to remember, not a single person in Polk County ever even thought of putting a mask on. They're like, that's not us. That's not who we are.
There was dudes about to rob a bank. He was like, put a mask on. No, I don't want him to think this has to do with COVID.
I'll tell you right now. But it's going to cost us our football season. This whole state can burn.
Right. Now, Devin, let me ask you. We just moved to phase 3 as of Friday in Central Florida. So are you guys opening full capacity? Is that something you guys are doing? Or are you going to still social distance, or what do you guys got planned?
Yeah, I mean, if it's unfortunate, I'm not a big fan of it, but everything is open full capacity now. I mean, I even did a show in Crystal River last night, and it was full capacity. It was back at it, and I mean, they sold the tickets day of and said, all right, we got extra seats
no mask,
now.
nothing.
Set them on top.
Temperature checks.
Now you're in Polk County, Devin. So does that mean if somebody steals a joke, Sheriff Grady and his task force are gonna come busting down, jokes on the table, ski masks on, just enforcing,
Yeah. We actually we have a thing where you have to check whether or not you're a child predator when you buy a ticket, just so we can kind of get an idea of how many Grady needs to bring.
So yeah.
So you can't go to 100% then in Polk County. You can't.
That's true.
Polk County is that one place where at least once a year it's going to be good for that newspaper or online news article where it's 40 faces because they do one big prostitution bust every year. And it's the same 12 guys every year. I'm like, really, dude? Really? Again? It was the same motel.
It's
like the same motel, man.
Like Maxim's Hot 100 every year. We're like, we get it, Dre.
We get it. Now, Devin, let me ask you this, man. New club. I know you. You like to think big. You like to do things on a bigger scale. Are you guys planning on doing bigger shows there, bigger comedians and whatnot? I mean, I know we're funny and you booked us, but there's people that people will actually pay to come see. So you guys planning on doing bigger shows there?
Yeah, we've got some of the mid-tier guys like Michael Winslow lined up. We've got Link Topless lined up. People that I've worked with too. I went ahead and the bigger guys that I've worked with, they're a little easier to get in contact with, and so I've kind of gone through those channels. We also have a few others that you may have heard of that we're working on right now, and
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Joselito the puppet 2 weeks in a row. Oh, good God.
We actually have Joselito, the actual puppet, by himself for one weekend, and then the guy that does him the next weekend.
Smart
He
move.
just sits in a stool and doesn't move. Yeah.
I love thinking about you in that poll earlier, though. You're like, take this down. And the firefighter's like, the load-bearing pole? You're like, take it down!
That's exactly what it was. I wish I was lying, but we were like, can we bear the load elsewhere? Like the thrift store next door has a 70-foot steel beam through it by now, but we're okay with that.
Now, Devin, real quick for everybody at home, it is called the Laugh Out Lounge, located in Winter Haven, opening up in about 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And where can people go get more information when they want to buy their tickets and all that good stuff?
LOLwinterhaven.com. LOLwinterhaven.com. We'll have all the show, upcoming shows and stuff like that, ticket links, and the schedule for the non-big shows too, like the open mic.
Who are you guys opening up with? Who you got?
Originally, it was Kevin Farley, and then it was Ken Miller. So as of right now, we're looking at
Loose Cannon.
Yeah.
Keeps going.
You sometimes just throw it out there, and then there it is. At this point, we're actually looking at having a soft opening with Tom Dustin and going to. Yeah, Chris Cope's going to be there. He's on board too. There's a few local guys that were local at one point that I've signed up that I've just like, when they're coming in town. Patrick Garrity's on the list to come. He's coming in December. So we've got some good guys.
Tom Dustin's great, and Chris Cope did his Conan appearance last year. Really funny guy too.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go check out
White Males is what we're looking for.
Got it. So, Devin, we wish you all the luck, man. We're so proud of you, man. Amazing what you're doing out there. On behalf of everybody in the studio, Miguel Colon Jr., Mike Curley, and, of course, Devin Siebold and myself, James John, thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Real Last 104.1.